I am curious. We know Bo is the concierge to small business lending, but I am curious. What are the top 10 reasons to buy a small business in 2024? Alrighty, Bo, let's do it. What are the top 10 reasons?
Okay, yeah. Deductible business expenses. When you're a W-2 employee, you're getting crushed on taxes.
No
Uh,
doubt.
I talked to somebody and they were making really good income, and they a portion of their salary they take, and then like 50 or 60% goes to stock purchases in their company, and they were getting taxed at like 48%.
Oi!
And so this person's making over 500 grand a year in gross revenues, and she was like, I feel like I'm poor.
Yeah.
I that and so
After taxes, she might be.
and so I started diving in because I was just on a group call last week with a CPA,
Mhm.
and he's very knowledgeable in small business, and we dove into um, section 179 and bonus depreciation and all that stuff. And so if you're a W-2 employee, and we're not tax people here, I'm just talking high level. You got to get a good CPA, but if you're W-2 and you now start a business and you buy that truck for the year, there's tax strategy planning that you can potentially offset some of your
Mhm.
other income, and that is so freaking powerful. I don't know why it's not talked about enough. Like,
Well, I don't know if you heard this, but Grant Cardone just went out and bought two $10 million or something helicopters. Last year, he bought a plane. This is really that idea, right? He busts his ass making income selling courses and events, and then twice a year he says he goes broke because he is looking at the tax code and how to move stuff around. But again, we're not CPAs. We just talk about what's possible. So
yeah,
that's a
yeah, yeah. I didn't know that about Grant, but he's cutting edge. He's getting, my advice is find a CPA
Mhm.
that works with the small business owners. Figure
Agreed.
out what business, even if you're not quitting your W-2 job for the near future and you're starting this business, there's a lot of variables there that it can save you a bunch of money. And like,
Absolutely.
I just think you really need to look at that. Obviously,
Yep.
there's special tax credits for business owners. You can There's benefits for taking additional classes, like when you're learning, like
Mhm.
all the stuff I do when I go to real estate events, right? Because I'm in real estate and business, I can deduct a lot of these things, and I think that's important because I'm continuing to level up my knowledge, and
Mhm.
so that's like another plus. Like any events you go to, you travel to go look at real estate or travel to go look at a business. Okay, these are all start coming into play when your W-2 is pretty much cut and dry what you can and can't do. So
Absolutely.
the U.S. government is encouraging people to be small business owners. That's why they have SBA loans, because they're guaranteeing a chunk of this.
Cool.
Um,
All right.
yeah,
What
yes.
do you got next?
So rise in remote work, right? So
Ooh, yeah.
a lot of I talked to a guy the other day, and he had two W-2 jobs.
Yeah, that's become a thing. Yeah.
He had two W-2 jobs, and I'm talking to him about looking at buying a business. And so he's looking at something he can do with a franchise model. And
Mhm.
so here's a guy that's, he can balance his time. He has two jobs. He's doing 200,000 plus a year in his W-2 work. And so I think you're going to see a lot more creativity going on, where you're getting people that they still may keep their W-2 job, and then they're doing their side hustle business right
Mhm.
now. I think that is more and more the conversations I have.
I think so.
They have their vending businesses. They have car washes. I think it was one of your listeners that I talked to.
Mm.
He has a big tech job, and this guy was so smart. I should have told him to contact you. I got to
Mhm.
go look up his name. But he was really smart because he started vending businesses, and he would get into schools, and he would give
Ah.
back 10% of revenue. I couldn't believe it. He was netting like 2,500 to 3,000 per vending machine inside those
Wow.
schools, like crushing it. He had six of them. It was like 18 grand just from that.
Mm.
And then he owned two car washes, and he had a high paying W-2 job. I mean, that's
He's
what I call stacking it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good for him. All right. What do you got
So
next?
e-commerce and online marketplaces, I think that's just another untapped world where there's,
Mhm.
I had a call with a guy last week, and he does retail arbitrage. He sells products and makes margins on them, and he does, he nets about 20 grand a month doing that. And so, I mean, the sky's the limit on what is out there. Um, the other thing too is, being a small business owner, you build relationships. You're out in the field more. You get to learn more. You learn from other business owners. I think like having an open mind
Mhm.
to it. Like I think people that are listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, they have a different mindset than many other people. And so like we're continuing to help elevate each other. It's like a collaboration. We did that event in Fresno called REI Collaboration
Yeah.
last year. And it's really entrepreneurs collaborate better, real estate investors collaborate better. We're all like a tribe, and we want everybody to grow together. And so
Mhm.
you don't get that as much in the W2 world.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I like it.
Yeah. And now also with the emergence of marketing, social media marketing, it's never been a better time to be a small business owner. Where else can you go for free? I mean, other than time and maybe a little bit of cost, like you can go and start a YouTube channel. You've talked about this many
Yeah.
times, Mike. Like,
Yeah.
like I make a living from my YouTube channel now, and like all I do is talk about what I do and
Yeah.
help people and share information. And it's
Yeah.
not
I heard Alex Hormozy say the other day, it's the first time in life he gets paid to market.
yeah, he
I'm
just
like,
bought a
yeah,
building.
yeah, he did. I saw them. Layla and him just bought a building. Acquisition.com has a headquarters now. Good for them.
Is that here in Vegas? Because I know he
It's got
was
to be
live.
in Vegas. It has
Yeah,
to be in Vegas. Yeah.
I'm hoping I run into him because I used to hear that he always hung out at the frozen yogurt part in Town Square here in Las Vegas off Las Vegas Boulevard. But
Okay.
he'd be a guy like, he's in my top kind of people that I follow because I think he's
Yeah.
just the wisdom he has, and he's only like 32 years old, 33. It's like crazy how smart that guy is.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. Him and Layla are killing it. Good for them.
Yeah. The other thing was there's an increased consumer interest in local and small businesses. So like people want to work with,
Yes.
there's a
Not the big
pushback.
chains. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a pushback, right? Like we got the Blackstones buying up single family homes. And I think, we do have to be aware that like the big corporations,
Hmm.
they can squash you, right? Like
Oh,
everybody's
yeah.
complaining about the cost of living. There's, even though it's not the huge percentage, how many institutional buyers are buying single family houses, and
Mhm.
and what does that mean? If you're starting out today, it's very difficult to buy a single family home for your first
Yeah.
home,
I
and I feel
agree.
bad for people.
No, it's tough. It's terrible.
So yeah, I mean that was pretty much the kind of extent. There was a big, most of it was the tax benefits. I have
Sure.
a I have a list of like all the tax benefits, but yeah, I would just say if you're out there and you're kind of not satisfied with your current situation,
Hmm.
and you're, mid-career,
Hmm.
and you're like, okay, well, there's got to be a better way. There is a better way. And I'm not telling
Yeah.
you to go quit your job today, because I think like having a job and making, when I hear these people making 500-600 grand a year W2, I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. And you're
That's
in your
pretty good. That doesn't suck.
and you're in your 20s. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Like, yeah, like
Yeah.
you don't need to go start your business really. You can need to stack and buy one rental at a time, and then do some, tax
Hmm.
strategy. But for people that are unsatisfied,
Yeah.
the beauty of it
Yeah.
now is you can launch and you can go tomorrow. It's that easy with
Yeah.
technology.
The other thing that I would highlight, and I really got this from Cody and Alex slash Layla, is if you get into the small business game, right, there's going to be a lot of baby boomers getting out. Their kids don't want it. So you can get a good price, you can get terms. But where I really think the value is if you start doing that and you're good at it, you could start building a portfolio of small businesses, right? That really excites me, right? You're in the real estate game. So you buy I don't know, painting, and then you do gardening, and then you do roofing, and then it's just all of these things you can stack small businesses, and then if you want, you could sell it at the end for a higher multiple because you are a one-stop shop. I think there's so many options out there.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at what Cody just hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I heard she makes like 20 or 30 grand at least per video she drops, probably more.
Right.
She has her newsletter. Like, just think about how you like. You just look and follow these people and go, because that's what I do. I'll go hack. I'll like listen to like strategies that like
Mhm.
Zuber has. Zuber's like, hey, I'm the Mr. Consistent. You just upload and you'll grow.
Yep.
Then you have like strategies from like a Cody where she's like, okay, I'm going to start a newsletter. I'm going to get followers. I'm going to get sponsors. I'm going to do this. And then she's just stacking her wins and wins and
Yep.
wins. But there's one common denominator that I'm seeing now more prevalent than ever is that these people are influencers. Like, so I think for me personally, being like, and I'm not saying I'm like this big shot guy, but I'm saying I'm out there putting myself out there, getting uncomfortable, and like I don't care because what I do stacks upon itself. And
Yes.
every video I do, every podcast I do is like a clone of me. I heard
Yeah.
Pace Morby said that everything he does is like a clone, right? This YouTube
Yep.
video is evergreen. It's out there forever. People are going to find it. They're like, hey, I like you, or I don't like you. It's fine. People won't like 100% of the, me or you. And
Mhm.
that's fine because like, just have a little bit of a thick skin if you're going to do it. Cause some
Yep.
people
Oh
will
yeah, for
bash you a
sure.
little bit, but
Yeah,
I don't
for sure.
care. And that's the
Yeah.
thing. So I think,
Well,
it's perfect.
you are the concierge of small business loans. You are here every Wednesday. I appreciate you. The audience loves you. If somebody wanted to book a call and say what's what, how do they do it?
Just go to one, I'm going to make a rap song, but onerentalmeeting.com, onerentalmeeting.com.
Yep, folks, he's investing in the channel, onerentalmeeting.com. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.